Hello, Twitter people. All right, so I saw yesterday that the embassy flag debacle was trending, and I decided I wanted to do a Periscope about this because it's something that I've been thinking about, I guess, for the last few weeks, maybe a couple of months, about whether or not the LGBT community is taking it too far in terms of their demands. Okay, so I consider myself to be an early shareholder in the LGBT community. What I mean by that is that actually back in that day it was just the LGBT community. And most of you guys that follow me or listen to my podcast know that I grew up with a pretty diverse mix of people in my family. I had a gay uncle who was HIV positive, so the conversation about being gay and what gay people were going through, I guess, was much more stern and serious in my household. And I always had sort of a deep reverence for the fact that there was this stigma in the 80s and people couldn't really talk about HIV. And then I went on to study that in one of my textbooks in college. So I always just sort of thought the gay movement, the lesbian movement, the bi movement was something that was a little more severe. All right, so fast forward to just, I guess, where we're at today. First, there was LGBT weekend. Great, amazing. We want to be seen. We want to be heard. This is necessary. There's a rainbow flag. Okay, cool. Then it's LBGT week, and there's some letters stuck onto it. It's like LBGTQRS. I don't even know what the letters are. All right, fine. There's parades. We need to be seen. We need to be heard. Okay, then we got on to the gay marriage thing. And a lot of people said that they didn't feel as a straight couple that they could get married unless they knew that everybody had the right to marry for love. And that to me seemed like the pinnacle that we were hitting. Okay, once we started allowing gay people to get married, it felt like we had reached equality in America in terms of what people could possibly be upset about socially in the LGBT community. All right. Thomas Sowell has this wonderful quote. You guys know I'm a huge Thomas Sowell fan. He's not talking about gay people, but he's just talking in general about the Black community. And he says that when you get so used to preferable treatment, being treated equally can start to feel like discrimination. And that's very true. When you're so used to preferential treatment, having weeks, having months, having flags, and when somebody says that you can't have something or somebody just simply tells you no, you can start to believe that you're being discriminated against. And this is how I feel when we're talking about embassy flags and people that are complaining in the LGBT, however many letters are past that community, that they don't get to have their flag hung up, which our flag is a symbol of national sovereignty. It's not a symbol of social issues. There are tons of different flags for tons of different social causes that exist in America. We already know that. There's Black Lives Matter flags, there's Black Power flags, there's a Confederate flag, and people fly those flags and they cause issues. Some people agree with them, some people don't agree with those. But the point being is that there's never been a conversation about any of those groups demanding that their flag get flown at embassies around the world. This is actually super extra, like super, super extra to be demanding that your flag is held. And then when somebody rightfully tells you no, you catch an attitude and start trying to make it seem like it's homophobia. No, it's stupidophobia. It's stupid for you to think that you're your own nation. I don't know if that's where you guys are trekking towards, where eventually you're going to say you want your own state, you want to be your own country. Okay, that's a different conversation. But in terms of equality in this country, nobody gets the right to hang their flag in different embassies around the world, except for the American flag, because we are a sovereign nation. The United States is a sovereign nation. That is what embassies are about. Okay. Speaking of ways in which, as an early stockholder in the LGBT movement, that I no longer recognize this company. We go from talking about HIV, I grew up in the early 90s, so this was still a conversation, right? Talking about HIV to talking about bathroom signs, right? Like now all of a sudden the big social issue is about having bathroom signs, a preamble to the Constitution in every bathroom now. Any person, thing, hat, dog, cat may use this bathroom. Like you can't just write restroom. But now this is a cause that's being pushed and people are pretending to be emotional about. Black people have not even done this, by the way. Talk about people that have actually gone through a worse history in this country would be Black America. Black Americans were never actually we were asking for the opposite. We wanted assimilation. We didn't want special, extra, this and that. We didn't want our flags to be hung here or over there. We wanted to just be able to assimilate into the culture. So to see this community pretend that they deserve everything they want, I'm logging on to Uber and I have a rainbow flag. I'm thinking, is that traffic? Is it a slow, is it jammed up? Why are all these colors in my Uber app? Come to find out, it is them being pro-LGBT. Like, now we're corporatizing it. Like, I'm like thinking to myself, were gays and lesbians not allowed to use Uber before? Oh no, they were always allowed to use Uber. So why is this in my app? I go to my furniture store. There's a giant rainbow flag on every wall. When I went to the furniture store, and I'm thinking, were gays and lesbians not allowed to buy furniture in the store? They're like, oh, no, it's fine. We're just like corporatizing it. So why is this a thing? Why are we, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to predict it right now. For everybody that was an ally, is an ally of the LGBT community, including gays and lesbians that I've spoken to, it's going to start to have the opposite desired effect. People are going to start to feel like it's too much, like it's going over the top, and like you're demanding extra benefits and things that nobody prior to you and nobody after you will ever get. I would suggest that the meeting, that you guys have a meeting and sit down and reset your agenda and figure out what it is you are looking for. If you are looking for a simulation and people to respect you and for you to have the same rights and for you to have equality in this country, which by and large you do, or if you're just going to simply keep moving the goalposts and make this about power and make this about trying to shed a false light on an administration that has been so pro-LGBT. The most pro-LGBT president that has ever sat in office is Donald J. Trump, because it's starting to look like politics to me. It's starting to look like children to me. And at the end of the day, you know, it's all fun and games until it's time to go to bed. And the LGBT community needs to calm down with this. This embassy thing is ridiculous. Of course, no one should fly your flag over an embassy. We are a serious country. We should be treated seriously. We don't fly a Star of David over embassies. We don't fly the cross over embassies. We only fly the American flag, and that's the way that it should be. Done with my rant here. I'll probably get in trouble, but somebody had